Welcome back to Brad Connection. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Finally, we're back. Welcome back to Bright Connections. It is absolutely a pleasure to be back. It's been quite some time. Took a little break, and now we officially restarted up Bright Connections. We're back with Season 2. Season 2. Episode 1. With my good friend, Miss Drea. Hello, Drea. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic. I am ready to go. I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit nervous doing this again. I don't know why, because I do this almost every night with my stream and everything, but it's a new setting, you know. It's a new thing in a way, even though I've done Bright Connections for a while now. But being the first time back, I'm sitting here just talking to Drea, and I was like, Drea, yeah, I'm nervous. Why am I nervous?
New beginnings.
New beginnings. True. Exactly. So, Drea is a great friend of mine. She is, well, go ahead, Drea. You tell us a little about yourself. Go ahead.
That's the worst question.
I know, right?
I don't know. I'm just Drea, you know?
Just Drea.
I'm a music lover. I am a video game lover. I love connecting with people through the internet, and I've done so through those channels, and here we are.
Connecting. How about that? Looking at making the plug already. Couple minutes in already. She's on it. She's on her game, guys. But yes, so Dre and I met online in video games through another mutual friend, and we are both just people with big hearts, but also very goofy and silly at the same time. So we kind of were like, yeah, she's all right. But Drea is a big Taylor Swift fan, huh?
I mean, I would say so.
You'd say so?
I was in denial for a long time, but I would say so, yeah.
How are you possibly in denial?
It took me a long time to come to terms with the term Swiftie.
Mm.
And when people would say, like, no, like, I just appreciate her music. No, I'm a full-blown
She's a full... Guys,
yeah,
she's a full-blown Swiftie.
Yeah, I will come out in public and say I'm a full-blown Swiftie.
We'll make it official.
I have my Evermore necklace on. I have a t-shirt or a sweatshirt on.
Oh, boy. So
we're in it.
The whole get-up, huh? Mm-hmm. Nice. So, I mean, there's not much bigger right now than Taylor, you know?
We are in the era of Taylor.
If we're being honest with ourselves, it's pretty much Taylor's world, and we're just living in it.
True.
If we're being honest with ourselves, you know? So, in case you guys weren't wondering, I think we're going to talk a little bit about Taylor Swift today, guys. Woohoo! But yeah, for those that don't know, before we get started, just a little quick recap on what Bright Connections is and what our goal is and what we're trying to do here at Bright Connections, obviously. I started up Bright Connections back in the pandemic era, even though we're still kind of in it. But, you know, the original start of it and the original, you know, everybody's quarantined and everybody's worried and everybody's scared and living at home and not going anywhere or doing anything. And a lot of people were down and just negative and not seeing anything good. And I just thought to myself, you know, hey, what can I do to try to spread a little brightness and remind people that there is still good in this world? There's people out there doing good things. There's people that have good hearts still and just have kind hearts and kind souls, and they're just trying to spread a little love to the world. And so that was my original goal, was to just, you know, obviously I'm here with my guests just being funny and having a good time and putting a smile on your face and everything. But it's also one of my goals here to share some stories, you know, share stories from my guests or from myself and my life and everything, and show people that, you know, there's stuff happening out there. You know, all we hear about on the news is this and that, and it's all negative and negative and negative. And I like to try to find those moments and those stories that are like, hey, listen, there's definitely some bright stuff too. There's some good stuff. There's some good moments, some good stories that are happening out there too. And I just want to share those and remind people that, hey, just because there is a lot of negative stuff going on, it doesn't mean we have to go along with it and only believe that and only see that too. We can see those good moments and we can create those good moments ourselves as well. So that was kind of the original start of Bright Connections, and that's still what we're going to do here in season 2, where nothing's changing there. We're still going to try to be bright, still going to try to be happy and fun, and just remind people to do good things for others, and just try to bring some brightness into other people's lives, and honestly into ourselves too. So sound good?
Sounds great.
All right. So with Taylor Swift going around right now, it's like I said, it's Taylor's world and we're just living in it. So I mean, she's been in everything. She's been in the news, she's been on social media, she's everybody's making TikToks about her videos, and everybody's gonna say, oh well, not everybody, but a lot of people are in a way getting sick of it. Is she getting too much attention? And there was just so much about how much time she's getting at the football games, how much they're showing her on the football games and all that. And so I just, you look at it and if you watch football games and you just are paying attention not only to what's going on in the game, but if you're paying attention to what the camera shows and everything, they're always going into the stands. They're showing people eating. They're showing, this person and this person and people that are sitting on the bench doing nothing. They're always going around showing different people. And, it's not really any different showing Taylor. It's just that she's everywhere right now. And I think people were just like, I'm sick of seeing it. So,
I mean, if you watched the Detroit Lions game, which I only saw clips of, obviously through TikTok and stuff like that, they showed Eminem.
Oh yeah.
The same amount of times. So it's the difference is that it's, a pop star. It's a woman in the world, supporting her boyfriend, not necessarily her team, because her team is the Eagles. Mm. But Eminem supporting the Lions, being his team, is somehow less offensive. I don't know. I don't really get that.
Yeah. So
I mean, they do it with all celebrities. Watch NBA games. They're on Drake's face the whole time.
True.
Every time there's a celebrity present at a sporting event, they show them. Yeah. It's what sells.
People
exactly. want to see that.
Yeah, people see a familiar face or a famous face and they say, "Hey, I know that person," and "Hey, wow, they're watching my team. That's awesome." Yeah, like you said, it's to sell. It is. It's to bring in tickets and to bring in viewership and just
the clicks. If they have a good reaction from the celebrity in the audience, they're going to show the clip of it happening and then cut right to their face. It's
honestly, they're probably okay with the bad press too, right? Because any press is good press, they say, right? So
because again, people are going to click.
People are clicking. People are talking about
whatever.
It. Exactly. So all these people that are taking the time to complain about it, they don't care. The NFL
you're just feeding it. How many times they show
you're feeding into it, But yeah, I saw a stat, how much time Taylor got shown in some of the games in the postseason and stuff, and it was 20 seconds.
Oh yeah, I think the most one was the Super Bowl, and it was 59 seconds or something like that. But she was having the best reactions. There was this joke game that people were gonna play. They had to take a drink every time they showed Taylor.
Oh yeah.
And you saw a clip of Taylor playing that game. Someone pointed to the Jumbotron. She was on it, so she chugged her drink. She's in on the joke too. She gets it.
Yeah,
she hears the stories. She hears the jokes. She's all right, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just living my life.
Yeah.
I'm supporting my boyfriend in his job. As you should show up for your significant other.
Yeah.
She showed up for him.
Yeah.
And if she didn't, I feel like people would be like, "Oh, Taylor's not at here because she's so busy with her concert." It doesn't matter if she shows up. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, that's a good point. You say, if she's not there, then people are gonna be like, "Oh, well, she's too good to support Travis." And But if she's
If
there,
she was in Tokyo, she could have made it. They would have tracked how long the flight was. They would have told everything.
I mean, they did already. There were videos and TikToks and stuff. It was honestly hilarious in my opinion. People going through the whole statistics of, okay, well, if Taylor's here and it's approximately this time in Tokyo, and then her flight leaves at this time,
many hours of sleep.
She'll have this. If she has this many hours of sleep, and then she goes at this flight speed, and she'll make it at this time, but then her cab doesn't arrive for another 35 and a half minutes. It's just like she'll make it with 3.5 minutes to spare.
I'm like, she was gonna miss it. Like, let's be actually honest. I mean, he was just there in Sydney for her show. Like, you know, his season ended, so he's kind of free, and he flew to Sydney, Australia, to watch her show there.
Yeah.
So
how about that?
They show up for each other, and I think that's a good thing. I don't know why we're complaining about that. I feel like if, you know, a president didn't have his wife by his side during big moments, people would be like, well, where is she? You know, if a CEO didn't have his family there, like, oh, well, maybe they're not doing so well. Like, it doesn't matter what position you are, you show up for your significant other in those big moments. So.
Yeah. And that's a good point. Like, people are going to talk no matter what. People love talking. Yep. They love talking, good or bad. And it's all, you know, and I'm glad that Taylor doesn't take it. It seems like Taylor doesn't take it to heart. You know, she knows people are giving her some gripe or whatever, if you will, but she knows, you know, that there's still so many people that love her too. So it's just like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. So
sure.
But I mean, she has to be living her best life right now. Like you said, she's got all these shows going on. She's doing her world tour, right?
Yeah, she's going on in the Eras tour. She obviously just won 2 really big Grammys. It is kind of her like era. I feel like this is really, I know that she's been huge for how long, but I think this is really the time where I would say she's in a good company where it doesn't matter the negative anymore.
Yeah.
Because the positive outweighs it so much. Like, there's this whole trope with like, if you go to a rock concert, you don't wear the band t-shirt of the band you're going to see. Like, that's uncool.
Really?
Like, it's considered uncool. You don't do it. It's always been that way. You don't show up to see Green Day wearing a Green Day shirt. You don't show up to, you know, whatever the concert is, wearing the shirt of the band you're seeing. But with a Taylor Swift concert, it's this whole, it's a spectacle, you know, it's an all-day thing. You're dressing in costumes that she's worn. People are creating the bodysuits that she's currently wearing on stage. Like, it is a theme party for 60,000 of your best friends. You know, like, it's such a cool thing. And I think she feels that energy so much that, like, the people that are saying the stupid things about her showing up to football games, people who are saying she's ruining the NFL, like, it doesn't even matter right now. Like, none of that matters, because this is too big to care.
Yeah. And I don't get that. You know, I don't understand how it would ruin the NFL, you know. The game's still going on. It's just, you know, it's not like they're showing her over.
Mad that a woman is like encroaching in their space, but like, we've been there.
No.
You know, like, women have been huge football fans, sports fans all over the place. It's just they don't pay attention to it. And now they're out in droves. But it's like, you've seen those videos of like, there's this one really cool video that I wish I could pull up of this guy who recorded him and his dad watching the Chiefs win the Super Bowl the last time they won. I don't remember what year it was.
Yeah.
Not really into sports. And it was him and his dad in the basement watching the game together.
Well, hold on. That's not true. You're not into sports, but you've paid more attention to sports now.
I have paid a little bit more attention. But they were watching the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, and it's them two hugging and being really excited. And that was the last Super Bowl that the Chiefs won. And then it said this year, and it was like his daughters and his wife and his dad, like all of them together hugging each other, cheering. And it was like, he's like crying, like sobbing actual tears, because it's like,
he has his whole family there.
The vibe is different this year.
Yeah.
So I think it's creating positive change in ways that people aren't willing to admit, because they're just like mad that she exists. But like, they're
just mad that somebody's more popular than them.
And it's the part of me is like a little sad that it took some dads so long to find a connection with their daughters. But I'm also like, on the other side, like really happy that like they have this now. Because when I was growing up, my dad was really into football, and I enjoyed it, and we would watch the draft together.
Oh yeah.
And I don't really know anything about drafting. I don't really understand it, but I have that memory and a connection with him through it. And it's like, for these young girls who probably didn't give a crap about football for a really long time, to have this connection with their dad, and like that moment of like the win and like being excited for each other, and like she's excited that her favorite pop star's boyfriend won, but he's excited that his favorite team won. And like, but they're hugging for the same reason.
Exactly. It doesn't
Like,
matter. They found that connection. They found that mutual just excitement for each other's person or team or whatever, and just
And that's a memory that they'll have forever. And they may have grown closer. I don't know what anyone's relationship is, but like that, to me, that's a moment where you grow closer to someone because of like a triumph, like something that you guys experienced together and were excited about together. And I think it's really cool to see. I cry at all of them. I see them all on TikTok and I'm sobbing.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a good point. It really is. You're bringing people together. You're bringing different communities together. You have the pop star community that's now merging into the football community, and why not be happy?
Right.
Like you said.
And then you see like on the opposite end of it, you see dads at concerts with their daughters.
Yeah.
Andy sent me one the other day that was like this dad with like 3 girls in the row with him, and he's screaming the lyrics with them. And I was like, those girls will never forget that moment. Like whether that dad enjoys the music or not, it didn't matter. In that moment, he was the biggest Taylor Swift fan for them.
Yeah.
And like, it was such a beautiful thing to see. Cause like, I don't know many dads that are like, Taylor Swift is my favorite musician ever.
Right.
And like, maybe there are, I don't, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you don't hear that as often.
Maybe there are, I don't know.
I don't know every dad in the world. But like seeing those moments together, it's like, what matters is like that memory will last like their entire lifetime.
100%.
I know people who have seen concerts with parents, and like, that's like a core memory for them.
Yeah.
Whatever the artist was, like being there in that moment. I have one with my family of seeing my favorite band. Like all of us, all my siblings, my parents, my now roommate, like we were all there together in the audience, just like screaming the music together. And it was like, that's a memory I will never like let go. And for it to be something as big as the Eras Tour, like that's huge.
It's as big as the Eras Tour.
Dude, that's a big stadium.
Yeah.
I saw her in Denver, and I could not stop staring at the crowd because I was like, this can't be real. There can't be this many people in one spot together singing the same songs together.
Yeah, it's true.
It was pretty incredible.
It's crazy how much it brings people together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I sat next to some really cool Canadians while I was there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot sunscreen, so I'm like staring at it was so hot. It was so hot. It was July in Denver, and we're up in the in that Mile High Stadium, and I'm up in like the very, very top. Like there's only like probably 6 rows behind me. I am so high up. I feel like I'm in the sun.
Just cooking.
And I'm like staring at my thighs at these shorts. I'm like, I'm gonna be so burnt. And I'm allergic to aloe, so burning sucks.
Oh.
And these Canadians looked at my legs, and she's like, honey, do you want some sunscreen? I brought sunscreen. And I was like, yes.
Oh, please.
So she gave me sunscreen, and it was like this adorable moment. Then we're all trading friendship bracelets, and like, it was just like a really sweet thing.
Oh my gosh. So did you ask them, like, did they travel down just for the concert, or
yeah, they did, because originally when she first announced the North American leg of the tour, there were no Canadian dates, and Canada was feeling like real left out.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget us up here.
Right. And so they were.
That wasn't a Canadian
really
accent, by the way. I don't know.
No.
I don't know what kind of accent
I was like,
that was.
I don't know. You were in Les Mis for a second, I think. But these girls were saying that like they didn't think that they were gonna get a chance, so they were like, we have to jump at it while we can. So they just bought the tickets not knowing. And then later on, she announced that there was gonna be like kind of a short second leg where she went to Canada and then a couple more US tours, or tour dates when she gets back. So nice. Took her a really long time to announce those. So Canada was shaking.
Like, please.
Yeah, I think like the Prime Minister of Canada even like I don't know if it was a joke statement or like actually real, because she did boost the economy in every city that she went to on the U.S. tour. But he put out a statement that was like, "Hey Taylor, like,
we can use some money up here, please."
I don't know what the actual statement said, but it was a sweet message to her that like we'll welcome her with open arms if she decides to like add some dates. But it was like kind of like, please come to Canada?
What are these voices?
I don't know.
It's exactly
what Canadians sound like to us.
Oh,
you have a lot of Canadian friends.
I have a lot of Canadian friends who are gonna be like, hey. But yeah, that's awesome. Like, I mean, to take the trip to a whole different country to see.
I mean, I had to go to Denver to see her.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I could not find tickets to Minneapolis. I couldn't find tickets to Chicago. One of my good friends, I kind of sent her on the hunt because she's really good at finding Taylor Swift tickets. And she's like, okay, I got you tickets for Denver night 1. They're really not good seats, but don't pay me yet because I'm going to see if I can trade.
Yeah.
And she ended up finding some girl whose sister was getting married on Denver night 2.
Wow.
And she needed to trade so she could still go. So they traded me better seats.
Yeah.
So that she could go to her sister's wedding and not miss Taylor Swift. So she went Friday, I went Saturday. It was great.
Wow.
I mean, I still didn't really have great seats. It was very obstructed. I missed like half of my favorite set because it's like in a cabin. And it's called the Folklore Cabin. It's a thing.
Okay.
And so she's like inside of it singing, and I can only see the side of the roof. So I had to watch the screen the whole time to even see what was going on.
Okay.
It's still great. I still cried.
I'm so confused right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
There's so much I don't know. I know.
Yeah.
I know that I don't know.
Yep.
So she was in a cabin singing.
Yes.
While all the fans were at just some other location watching the screen?
No, it's like a set on the stage.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a cabin that's
I was way off.
Created for stage.
I was way off.
And she's standing inside of it, but I'm like to the very far right of her, so I can just see the side of the roof of the cabin.
Okay. And
she's in it playing guitar and singing, and like there's stuff happening outside of it and around it, like dancing, but like I can't see any of it.
Yeah.
It's still amazing.
You still can hear it. And just the atmosphere and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the same. I mean, that's the same with sporting events. You know, sometimes you don't always see everything that happens or whatever, and it's just the atmosphere. It's just being surrounded by a ton of other people cheering and just having a good time, and the sounds and the lights and everything. It's just, same with the concert. See, look at that, sports concert. I
mean, it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
You're watching a performance of something you very much enjoy.
Yep.
With 60,000 of your best friends.
With 60,000 of your best friends.
I would just say that it's probably friendlier at a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I could walk up to anybody and ask to trade bracelets, and they would be like ecstatic over the moon.
Yeah, I don't think if you went to a sporting event and asked to change jerseys, I don't think that they'd necessarily do it.
I really like your costume.
Yeah, your costume. Please don't call it a costume. Please don't call it a costume in sports. Don't do that.
See, that's the other thing. You can't get as creative at a sporting event.
Oh, okay.
I guess you can. There's people body paint.
Oh, yeah.
At Packers game, there's bikini girls. I don't know how they do it.
Packers game?
Packers.
Oh, Packers. You said Packers. Yay. Sorry. That's the accent coming out. Not my fault. Okay. Oh, man. So, yeah, she's been everywhere, and she's been living it up and winning everything. So you mentioned that she won 2 Grammys this year.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly, I believe that was a record now that she holds.
She holds the most Album of the Year award winners. So she's won 4 times.
4. That's what I thought.
Yep. She won it 4 times, which is like, I mean, that's pretty cool, you know. And I
mean,
it's
like it's all right, you know.
It's
pretty cool, I guess.
Fine.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people that would have differing opinions on whether or not the album itself deserved it, but like,
which album?
Midnights, which is her most recent album.
Okay.
That's not a re-record.
Yeah.
But I would say the cultural impact of it alone really deserved it, because it like changed the game, you know, like the way people are like excited about music again. People are basically like demanding a tour after that, 'cause she hadn't toured in 5 years. It was obviously pandemic, and she hadn't put out an album as well for a little bit, and so people were like demanding a tour, like that we want to see a tour, but she had 4 or 5 albums at that point, I think 4, that she hadn't been able to tour for. So she had Lover that had come out, Folklore and Evermore had come out, and then Midnight. So she had 4 albums that needed a tour essentially. Like normally an artist will put out an album and then go tour for it. And it'll be like named like the Midnight's tour. You know, her tour before that was the Reputation Stadium tour for her album Reputation. But she hadn't toured in so long that people were like, how is she going to do this? And her fans kind of coined the term the Taylor Swift eras. Like, what era are you? Like, I'm in my Speak Now era. I'm in my Reputation era. Oh. And so she kind of like basically took that as like the fans naming it. You know, took the fans' name for what's going on. And she's like, I'm just going to make a tour and do a 3.5-hour set of as much music as I can cram into it.
That's really how long her concerts are?
It's 3.5 hours of just hers. That's not including her openers or anything. It's 3.5 hours of just her on stage. And obviously, like, there's some theatrics to it too. There's costume changes, so she's not on set the entire 3.5 hours. And a lot of them are high energy songs. That's
still on your feet and everything for 3.5. Oh my goodness.
Girl, her training for it was insane. But yeah, like, you know, she took the name from the fans and was like, I'm going to give the fans all of it. Other than her first album. It's not on the tour, which, much to a lot of people's dismay.
I'm learning so much. I didn't know that's why it was called the Eras Tour, you know? Yeah. And now that I think about it, you know, talking about which era you're in, I was,
Yeah.
I was more
Taylor Swift effect.
Yeah. She's got me so rattled just thinking about how great she is, you know.
You're right.
I was more of a beginning of her music fan, I guess to say. You know, when she first came out, she was a probably teenager, right? When she first released a couple of ideas. Yeah, I thought so. And she was more country, I guess, than pop. So that's when I really would listen to her music more, when I was younger as well. And, you know, I would hear her songs here and there from later albums and stuff. But I was, like I said, I would have to consider myself more in the early era. I don't know if that's a term that they use, or in her early days.
Are you thinking like a debut era, Fearless era?
Sure. Yes. 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 But that doesn't mean that I don't like any of her other albums or anything. That's just that the ones that I was more familiar with, the ones that I heard more of, the ones that I would listen to more of. But we do have something that I did in preparation for this. I went through all of her album. I listened to every single song that she has, and I rated it. And we're going to get to that in a little bit, of which albums are the best, in my opinion, which songs, everything. I rated it all, and we're gonna see which one was my top album.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
We'll get to that in a second. You know, and so getting back to the Grammys and everything, I think what makes Taylor also great is that she had all these successes and won these awards and these Grammys and everything, but she was you could still tell, and even heard stories of her saying that's great, I won my award, now it's your turn, Travis, to win your big game and win your award, if you will. So it's back to her being super supportive again, she's yay, I won, your turn, I want to see you win, I want to see you happy, I want to be there for you winning your thing. So knock her if you will, but
right.
That's pretty awesome,
At least I don't obviously know her personally, but from what she displays, she's kind of one of those ride or die kind of friends. And if you watched any of the Grammys, she was standing for every performance and dancing and singing along. And every time somebody won, she was up there, she was screaming, she was yelling back to them. She was so happy for them. Even in awards that she was also nominated for, she was unabashedly excited for whoever was winning.
Awesome.
So it was just, it's never she's never like there standing saying like, no, I deserved that one, or like looking upset that she didn't win. No, she's like, great, you won, that's amazing.
So she's one of those types of, seems like we said, we don't know her personally exactly or anything. You probably would want to, but you know,
I mean they say never meet your heroes, but like I feel like she'd be a nice one to meet. True.
But she seems like the type of person that, yeah, she's gonna work her butt off to win every single thing that she can, but when she doesn't, she's still like super happy and wants to see her other friends and her other competition. Even she wants to see them succeed and wants to see them win too, and that's amazing. You know, that's an amazing trait to have.
Yeah,
not gonna find that.
The only time I really ever saw anything about her being like bummed that she didn't win something is she had a documentary out called Miss Americana, and in it you hear that she wasn't even like nominated for her Reputation album. Okay. Which is my favorite album. So
giving it away already, huh?
Whatever. But she wasn't nominated for anything, and instead of like, you know, throwing a fit or being like what is the Academy thinking, blah blah, she just said, you know what, that means I need to make a better album. I need to do better. I need to work harder and create something better and do better next time.
Yeah.
And she literally, I mean, pushed for it. I mean, for not for the awards necessarily, but to make a better album that someone would perceive better.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the perfect type of attitude. It's a perfect. You're being an example too to all these young kids and everything of being a good role model. You know, just always work hard, always work harder. You don't get something, you put your head down and you go back even more, trying to get it even.
More. And bringing it back to, you know, athletes again too, whenever they don't win their game, like they're not saying like, oh, the refs are so bad, or oh, the team did this. They're saying like, no, we just need to work harder. Well, the right ones, the ones that like are True. There are some terrible people.
Well, I think I think there's also frustration too. I don't think necessarily that they're terrible people.
It's just times it comes down to, I need to do better. We need to do better as a team. We need to work harder. Because like you just, if you blame somebody else, you're not going to get any better. Yeah. You're like, no, they messed it up for me. Yeah. And then you're probably going to do just as bad right after.
Yeah, true. I see. It's probably become cliche at this point, but I see sometimes after the losing team, you know, after like a huge win, let's say the Super Bowl or Stanley Cup or whatever. Sometimes you'll see videos or photos of the losing team or at least one of the people, one of the athletes on the losing team. They'll stand there and they'll watch the opponent celebration of their victory and getting their trophy presentation and stuff, and they'll stand there and they'll watch it, and it'll just be, and they claim that it's, you know, it's motivation, that's where I need to be next year. That's where I want to be next year.
Visualization process.
Visualization, yeah, just sitting there, even though you're pissed beyond belief and you're sad and you're just like probably exhausted and everything, all these emotions going through, but you're still taking the time to sit there and say, that's where I want to be. That's who I want to be. I want to be there. And it's pretty motivating. I'm not gonna lie, but I think it's, like I said, it's probably become a little cliche. I've seen a lot more recently, but still, you know, the concept's there. You know, just instead of just walking away with your head down, saying, "Ah, man, that stunk. We stink, and we're never gonna get there again." Take it in, and use it as motivation.
Say, I need to do better.
Yeah,
and that's, you know, perceived wise, that's what she did. And Lover is, I think, a great pop album. I have a lot of friends that disagree, that they're not like huge fans of it or whatever. I loved it. I don't think it was better than Reputation. I think after Reputation, she really fell into this, you know, COVID hit. So she really fell into more of a storytelling phase. And so she created different art. Instead of being like, I just need to do what I did, but better, she shifted and was like, no, I need to like understand my art more. I need to, you know, travel in a different channel and like make different art. And she ended up winning a bunch of awards for those too. So.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
She put out 2 albums in like 6 months, dude.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot of albums. There was really nothing else to do during COVID.
That's also true. That's also true. Just sit and just record and make songs and.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Now, she's always been good, or at least interesting, in how she releases or gives hints about new albums or new songs or new info or new news or whatever you will. And that just happened recently as well, right?
Mm-hmm. During the Grammys, when she won the first award, she said, if I win any awards tonight, I'm just going to announce the new album. She won an award, and so she announced the Tortured Poets Department. And I say that so clearly because I had to practice it, because fans are so lovingly calling it the Dead Poet Society, because it's a very long name, and we're used to her, like, 1-2 word albums, Midnights, Fearless, Speak Now was 2 words,
It's still quick though.
So the Tortured Poets Department is a long name for her albums.
Yeah.
And it is, I'm already prepared to have my heart shattered. The things that have come out about it, she really uses a lot of like poetic symbolism in her albums. And I know on the surface, if you just listen to the things like Shake It Off, you're probably not going to hear that. But if you listen to her deeper cuts, you're going to hear like a lot of these symbols and, hints that she drops at things. Like she's very good at hiding hints and hiding,
Yeah, that's where I think we get to the 2 different types of listeners to her music. You got people that are listening to like Cruel Summer or stuff like that, where you just got these bangers that just these upbeat, just happy, just awesome, fun songs. And then you, like you said, you have people like you or other people that just really dive into the lyrics and dive into how she's singing and the way she's singing and knowing her past and knowing what she's going through or whatever. And these lyrics that just hit so deep, they're just like putting knives in you and just like, wow, that's awesome. But there's the people that are listening for the music or the beats or whatever, and they're just like, yeah, it's okay. So I think that's where you get the 2 different sides of Taylor Swift listeners. So.
Right. I mean, there's people that argue she doesn't have the greatest voice, and like I fully understand. She's not like an Aretha Franklin. She doesn't have the range of like these insane singers throughout history. But her storytelling, I think, is really what gets her where she is, because that's what she's doing. Yes, there are some songs that may seem more juvenile, but some of them are on purpose. That she kind of kids down and like gets playful with, because maybe that's the tone. Maybe it's a taunting song, or there's certain things that she does the way she does to kind of like elicit a certain emotion out of you.
Yeah.
Like however you take the song is up to you. Whoever you think of when you listen to this is up to you. But like, this is the emotion I want to bring you to.
That's such a good point, man. Like, I know for me personally, and I would have to assume a lot of other people too, when you hear certain songs or you hear certain artists or something, you always are thinking about a moment or a person or whatever. I know I certainly do that. When I hear songs, I hear an artist, I was like, oh, that related to that person. Whatever the reason may be, it's just that's the impact of music, man. Oh.
I mean, every girl has their person that they think of when they listen to the song Tolerate It. I'm just saying.
Of course.
And if you're the person a girl thinks of when they hear Tolerate It,
sorry,
you messed up.
You messed
up. Apologize. Like, there's just no coming back from that.
No, yeah. Oh, man, don't. If we get started on music too much, we're gonna be here for like all day. But power of music, man. I'm telling you that. Like I said, there's different ways of listening to music. You can listen to it for the lyrics and the power behind the lyrics, or you can, some days you just want to listen to a rager. You just want to listen to a hardcore song and just release some energy. Or sometimes you want to sit there and just.
And that's what's great about Taylor Swift.
And
she's got
it all. She's got it all.
You need something to pump you up, throw on Ready for It. You need to cry, throw on Tolerate It.
I know all of these songs, guys.
You listened to the whole discography.
I did. I went through and listened to every song, and like I said, I rated it in the first time I heard it, or some of them obviously I heard before, but I tried to just be as real and as I try to listen to the lyrics, but I know like you're talking about all these backstories and all these hidden meanings and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know exactly, but it sounds like a nice song. So
yeah, there was one that really triggered me when I accidentally saw some of your lists.
Yes, right.
I was very triggered.
She looked at it, and because I haven't released to her yet what I rated everything, but we were talking about it or whatever, and she saw one, and she's like, "Excuse me."
Oh, I was like,
"Excuse me."
Everybody is entitled to their own wrong opinions.
Their own wrong opinions. Keyword. Keyword. So all right, yeah, let's dive into it. Let's dive into it. Finally, we've got the ratings here. I'm gonna pull it up, and we're gonna go through albums and songs and everything of what I rated things of Taylor songs. So do you want to start with like each? No, let's go with the final rankings, and let's see.
Yeah, I need to know
the top,
from the bottom up. And I want to know from the bottom up.
From the bottom up. Okay, so she has how many albums? Quick question. Go.
She is about to release her 10th.
Oh, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I already see 10 albums.
Oh, no. CS11. That's me. Yikes. Bad fan.
Fail.
Do you need a new guest?
Yeah.
I got some Swifties on backup.
Go find someone else. Oh, no. No, that's all right. She's got a lot of albums and a lot of good albums, and it was a quick question. I was keeping you on your toes. All right, so from the bottom up, what did you say your favorite album was again?
Oh no, is Reputation the last one on your list? I should have made you watch the Reputation Stadium tour to have a better appreciation for this. Okay. Anyways, yeah.
It really is. It's my lowest rated. It's my lowest rated album is Reputation.
We're just going to keep going.
We're just going to skip that one. We're going to not talk about that, huh?
Remember when I said entitled to your wrong opinions?
Yeah. So unfortunately, Reputation was my lowest at rating of 4.
I can't wait to tell Pika that.
4.47. By the way, I guess these were like 1 through 10. All these ratings. For those that are intrigued to know that. So 4.47. I tend to rate a lot of things in the middle, so we're gonna have a lot of close ones here. Some real good songs. Not a whole lot of really bad ones though. But yeah, Reputation at 4.47 was the lowest. Sorry. Next is not her debut, but debut, I guess. The album debut.
That's what fans lovingly call it, because that's her debut into the music world.
It's kind of both. It's like,
and the title of the album is Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay. Well,
but we call it debut because it's her debut album.
Okay, so Taylor Swift album debut, whatever you want to call it, was second, 4.57.
Surprised that's not higher for you.
Me too, honestly, because I think that was one of the first ones you saw some ratings on too, and you were like, whoa, you got that high? I was like, yeah, it's a good song. Third, we've got at 4.92 Fearless.
I really thought Fearless was going to be high for you.
Really?
I had a feeling. I'm shocked.
Proven.
Now I'm starting to guess that like Evermore is your top. Keep going.
Yeah. All right. No spoilers. No spoilers.
I'm trying not.
So we've got Reputation, Debut, and Fearless, and then number 4. I probably should have put these in order. This is like, they're all so close. 4 is at 5.16, so we've now passed the 5 mark. 5.16, we've got Lover.
Okay, that actually shocks me that it's that high.
Maybe I should put these. I'm gonna put numbers next to them so I remember which one's which. So that's 10, 9, 8, and then 7 was Lover. Yeah. Okay. Number 6 highest. And now I'm changing up my order. First I was going bottom 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm counting backwards. You guys got it. You're following. At number 6, we've got at 5.18, so just a tiny bit better than Lover. We've got Midnights. 5.18. At number 5, we've got at 5.24, So they're all close. They're really close. 5.24, we've got Folklore.
Okay.
Right smack in the middle, Folklore. At 5.55, we've got number 4, which is Red.
Mm-hmm. That checks out.
That checks out. Okay.
Because it still has that like kind of, it makes sense for me because it has that like country-ish feel still. Like it was right before she really left country.
Yeah.
So it still has that, but it's a little bit more
pop country.
Pop country, yeah.
That's Because I remember back in the day when she started to hit that phase where she started like switching out of more country and into pop. People were like, "Well, she's not really country. Well, she's not really pop either. Just call it pop country." That's literally how I described it. Like, just pop country. And I think there's a lot of people now that are pop country, if you will. So
I haven't heard you say 1989 yet, and now I'm so shook that it's so high on your list.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So we got 3, 2, and 1. Do you know which albums are left?
Oh my God, 1999 is in your top 3? That's so shocking. I would have put money down saying it was not.
Really?
Yeah. I think 1989 is such a good pop album. So like, I vouch for it being that high, but I'm shocked.
Yeah.
So you have Evermore and 1989, and what else have you Speak Now? Is Speak Now your top 1?
I don't know.
Okay.
So at number 3, at 5.57, we have Speak Now.
Oh my. Where is 1989?
Her mind is blown right now, guys. Oh my gosh.
I should have made a list of what I thought yours would be.
Yeah, you should have. That would have been good. Yep. So you know what albums are left. We've got Evermore and we've got 1989.
Okay, so I was right that I thought after I found Fearless to be too low, I was right in thinking that Evermore was really high.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
all I have.
That's all you have.
Because the fact that 1989 is up there, I am shook.
I have
no words.
You want to take a guess at which is which? Evermore?
I think it's 1989 then Evermore number 1.
Evermore number 1 and 1989 and number 2?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Evermore is number 2 at 5.71, and 1989 is number 1 at 5.81.
Everything I know is right.
Everything I know. She doesn't know me anymore, guys. She's like, who is this stranger I'm talking to?
Nope.
That was my honest opinion going through rating songs.
Evermore is my number 2 as well, so like I get it.
Yeah, Evermore
is my number 2.
It is a very, very good album. I really enjoyed that. There was a lot of good songs, and a lot of good lyrics. Maybe it was just my time that I was listening to it. I was feeling the lyrics or whatever, but yeah, Evermore was number 2, in 1989 number 1. Yep.
I gotta know how 1989 became your number 1.
I
think it's just genuinely good pop, to be totally honest.
There's not a lot of songs. So I don't know. Well, that shouldn't really affect the average. It's still the average.
Right.
You know what? There's not a single.
And you probably also don't have the this was made before the re-recording happened, so it probably didn't have the additional songs like her newest ones, because she just re-recorded it, and it
ended in New Romantics, this list.
Yeah, so you didn't get the bonus songs.
Oh. Well, it's skewed, guys. Yeah. It doesn't count anymore. It doesn't count. Nope. Fail. Done. None.
No, because the new songs are so good. She has the song called Slut on it, that kind of really embraces like the fact that at the time everybody was like saying like, oh, Taylor Swift is too much, she's dating too much, she's such a slut, blah blah blah. But then in this song she says like, well, if they're gonna call me a slut, it might as well be worth it for once, like meaning that like if they're gonna talk anyway, so like I might as well just enjoy my life and be into this person that I'm into. So she really kind of like flipped the script on that one.
Like take this.
Right. She also had a song that was like, it was finally Harry Styles' diss track because they broke up, but they're like friends now.
Oh, okay.
But at the time when, whenever she would go through a breakup, there would be like, songs about the breakup that were like pretty unfortunate songs to have had.
That was also
if you were on the receiving end.
That was also another diss on Taylor, if you will, was that she would always like write a song about people when she had a
Who
breakup,
doesn't?
but who doesn't
in
get
country music, in rap music, in rock music, you're writing about your life and what you know for the most part. And like,
you could easily stereotype or argue that every genre of music has.
Every genre does it.
Country's always about drinking beer, driving a truck,
and losing their girl.
You could make stereotypes about every type of music.
There was this like comparison that like of Taylor Swift discography, comparing it like 1-to-1 with Morgan Wallen, I think, about how much of percentage of their songs were about breakups, and like he had a much higher percentage because at the time of this person that researched all of it, he was like the biggest name. I don't know if he still is. I really don't pay attention to country, but he was like the biggest name at the time.
Yeah.
Comparing it 1-to-1 ratio of Taylor Swift discography, he had like a much higher percentage of breakup songs.
See.
But like no one was giving him shit for talking about his breakups.
Yeah.
Because why does it matter?
Yeah.
Like you write as an artist, you write about what you know.
Yeah.
And
you write with feelings. You write with what's coming from inside. So. And
it wasn't until Folklore that she really got into writing about fiction. You know, she made up this whole love triangle story about these high school students within the album. Like there's like several songs that are interlocked together because it's like from the different perspective of these three people that she made up.
Yeah.
You know? So up until then, she wrote about what she knew. She wrote about her feelings and her story, and that's what she got out of it. Like the song All Too Well. When she wrote All Too Well, she would tell the story about how she was just so distraught about this breakup that she went through that she couldn't do her sound check. Like she was just too in her head about it. Wow. So she's just up on stage. She was just strumming away and she just started singing and singing and singing. And then the band kind of started filling in. Oh, and
one of those moments. That's awesome.
It became this like, she was like, I ended up being up there for like 10 minutes straight singing this song. And her mom was like, asked the sound people, like, did you record that? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely did.
And so when she actually went to go put it in the studio, her label was like, no one's going to listen to a 10-minute song. Like, you need to cut it down. So they cut it down to the original album length version of All Too Well. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it really hit a lot of people. And like a lot of people were like, affected by the song. They're like, I feel this song so deeply. Yeah. And this is from her Red album, so like it was from like a, you know, an album that was very deep in feelings.
What did I rate?
I mean,
I have to see what I rated All Too Well now. Oh,
I want to know All Too Well versus the 10-minute version of All Too Well.
All Too Well was number 5.
I feel like if you don't have an All Too Well moment in your life, maybe
I guess.
But fans,
that seems kind of low because that seems honestly low. I don't know why I rated it that, because I that's what I felt at the moment. But I know that song pretty well, and
maybe
it's
you're
a
in
good
a good
song.
Mood that day.
Maybe I was in a good mood that day. It's just like
so
this song's bringing me down.
But you know, fans really took the song, latched onto it. And when they found out that she made a 10-minute version, there was this like campaign for years, like, release the 10-minute version, Taylor.
Really?
Like, give us the 10-minute version.
You know what I
do?
Her
label kept saying, like, this can't be the single. It's too sad. You know, we need to find a different song to put out there. And it was her favorite song on the album. Yeah. And so she was so excited about it. And then when the fans were like, I'm so excited about it, she was like, this is it.
This is it.
Because she's been on record saying that her favorite song on the album usually doesn't typically line up with the fans' favorite. And so this one time it like linked together. And so when she re-recorded it, she put out the 10-minute version.
Nice.
And it was so good.
So good.
So good.
So good. I'm trying to look through and see some of the highest rated. Oh, by the way, why 1989 probably was the highest? There was no bad song. I didn't have a single song under 5. So the whole album,
What was I Think He Knows?
I Think He Knows? That's not even on this album.
Oh, that's on Lover. God damn. I know, but what was I Think He Knows? Because that song I had in my head because I've been talking about it to a few of my friends that are Swifties, and that is their skip song. Like, everybody talks about their skip song on a Taylor Swift album, and a lot of people I know on Lover, I Think He Knows, is a skip song. Yeah. And it's like one of my favorite bops.
3.
Okay.
I have it as a 3. I don't think I had anything. Oh, no, there's a 2. Never mind.
I will be driving in nice weather with the windows down, just like rocking to I Think He Knows.
Hey, to each their own, you know. I don't think I had any ones. I don't think I.
What was Clean? That's on 1989.
1989 Clean was 5. Highest on 1989 was.
I think Clean was like a 10 for me.
Yeah, I don't think I did a 10 either. 10. I didn't do a 10 and I didn't do a 1.
Too critical.
I mushed everything into the middle. I did, but it's just because like I don't know. Everything was good. Nothing was like off the charts, I guess, in a way. Nothing was like so bad I don't want to listen to it. So I had a couple 9s. I'm trying to find some of the 9s. Nothing on debut. No 9s on debut. Oh, here on Fearless. You have a guess on what I had a 9 on Fearless?
I have no clue what you would have put a 9. Everything I know is so messed up now that 1989 is your top. I don't know.
Love Story.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Exactly.
I have a friend that's getting married this summer, and they're like, "Do you have a request?" And I put "Love Story" by Taylor Swift.
Yep. Yeah, it was one of those songs that when I was young,
it is fun to see that one live because as there's like this trope that people are like proposing during that song. So like right when the song starts playing and she starts saying like he's down on his knee, everybody starts looking around. They're like
who's getting proposed to? Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's
no one
great.
in my section did, but it's fine. You know,
nice.
I would have sobbed too much anyways.
No 9s on Speak Now. No 9s.
That's shocking because Haunted is like a 10 for me.
On.
If I could give it higher, I'd give it higher.
Is that on Red?
Speak Now.
Oh, Speak Now. Haunted. 6.
Okay, still
above average.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of
Fun
7s
fact about
on
Speak
Red.
Now is that it was the first album she wrote completely by herself because she's written all of her music, but she's also had help. You know, people have had a lot of collaborators. You know, she has producers. People will help write an album, but she was given so much shit at the time of debut and Speak Now or Fearless that they're like, oh well, Taylor doesn't even write her own music. Like she's not even that good. She doesn't even write her own music. So she said, okay, fuck you, and wrote all of Speak Now by herself.
Yeah.
Fun facts.
Fun facts. Nice. Yeah, I mean, well, didn't she write her debut album by herself?
She writes the music, but she has collaborators that also work on it. So if people like are adding lines or like they add verses or they like do stuff to it, their names get added to it.
Who doesn't have help when they write music?
Right. And I mean, now she has like her longtime friend and collaborator, Jack Antonoff, that helps her. And so he's on a lot of her tracks.
Yeah.
Writing music, but that's like typical. But because there was other names next to her names, people like to discredit her. So now it's this, you know, it's a different situation of she collaborates because she enjoys collaboration. Back then it was like, well, I'm not going to collaborate on this album because I'm getting too much shit. I'm going to show them that I can do this.
Yeah. Another side of Tay-Tay. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say the All Too Well 10-minute version I have rated as a 7. So for whatever reason, I felt that one was better. Don't know why.
Listen to that on a worse day.
I guess so. I don't know.
No, I think I know a lot of people say that the All Too Well, the original version, is the sad girl version. But then if you listen to All Too Well, the 10-minute version, it's the healed girl version. So it's like more of a resolve, but because like at the end she kind of gives him the finger basically.
I was rooting for her in the 10-minute version. I was like, yeah, let's go. And the other one I was like, stop. Stop.
Fair.
Trying to see any other high rated ones. There was in Lover. Cruel Summer. Yeah, okay. 9 for Cruel Summer.
You're such a pop girly.
It's just a fun song.
It is.
It's such a fun song. But there's another high one in Lover too.
Screaming of the bridge live, like that was the first song. Like, well, it's technically the second song because she played a clip of a different song first. But it's basically the first full song you hear at her Eras tour, and she sings the bridge, and you scream it so loud, like. Yes. At the top of your lungs, that your voice is already done for by the second era that she plays.
Nice.
You have nothing left.
Nothing left. Nope. You're done.
What
Worth
was
it
The
though.
Man? What did you rate The Man?
The Man, 5.
Okay.
Yeah. There was another one you called though in Lover that you said you'd probably like this one. Can you think of which one it was? You said it beforehand and you were like, I bet you would like this one. And I did. I have it as an 8.
What did I say? I say a lot of stupid things.
It's that's true. It was with somebody. With featuring somebody.
Me?
Yeah. Yeah.
That song is so polarizing. That is an extremely polarizing song.
I have it as an 8. It was good. You said it beforehand. You're like, I bet you would like this song.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a happy song.
Yeah.
There's a clip of her playing it in the documentary Miss Americana where she's doing it on piano and it's a little bit sadder sounding.
Okay.
And it would have changed the entire vibe of the song had she done it that way.
Oh yeah.
Like, 'cause it can be real, like just changing the tone of it makes the lyrics even sound sad.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked Me. I think it's good. I think there needs to be a redemption for Me because people were really mean about it when it came out.
Really?
Well, there was that weird line that she ended up removing where they go in the middle, hey kids, spelling is fun.
Yeah, that would do it. That would definitely do it.
And everybody was like, oh.
Ew, okay.
Like, it immediately gave everybody the ick. And so they ended up taking it out.
Okay.
And
it immediately
Taylor into taking it out.
It immediately moved it from a 3 to an 8 rating.
But I think it's just, I don't know. It's a happy song. It's, it's a feel good song.
Yeah. One of the ones I was really surprised that I really, really liked was from Evermore, Willow.
Willow's really good.
I really liked Willow. Yeah, I really liked Willow.
There's a lot of different versions of Willow on Spotify. Like, I have one that I really like. It makes it sound even more folky. It's called the Lonely Witch version.
Okay.
And it's her still. She just put out a lot of versions of this album. Okay. Like, she was just having fun with it, clearly.
Yeah.
And it's just the sound of it is a little bit more folky, and it's so good. But I love Willow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really good one. I listened to it a couple times, and I was like, yeah, I like this song. This is good.
Evermore is just, it's just so good.
It's so good.
I mean, as I'm wearing an Evermore necklace.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yep. And then I think that was it, though. So what, like 2 9s, and that's it?
Yeah. You're a little harsh.
I guess
Roger Ebert over here.
Roger. What?
That's movies.
Oh, okay. All right. Sure. But yeah, those are my rankings. So anything else you wanted to know about the rankings?
I'm just still spinning about
1989, number 1.
I would have never guessed it. I love 1989.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's actually, I think when I did my rating, I was really in my Lover era. Like, I freaking loved that album for like a good 6 months. It was all I played.
Yeah.
So I think Lover ended up being higher just because of that. Like, if I did it now, 1989 would be a lot higher.
I think, like I said, I think it's because I didn't find a bad song on 1989, whereas other albums, there's some ones that I have under 5. That one, there's not a single one under 5, and then there's just like 3 7s, couple 6s. Just a solid album. Just a solid album.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah, it was good.
I need justice for Reputation, but it's fine. Maybe on the re-recording of Reputation, you'll like it more. We'll revisit this again.
It probably went down a lot.
We'll do a new episode when she records it.
probably down pretty low because there's a couple really low ratings for songs.
Okay. There's a song. This is why we can't have nice things.
3.
Okay, so that's one of the ones that I was like talking about. Like, the way she sings it is very juvenile. It's very taunting. It's very very kiddish, like nana nana boo boo. But like, that's because she's like literally the person it's to. She's like legitimately taunting because of it. So like, it was during the whole the Kanye situation, and when he had released, he was like trying to tarnish her reputation. That's why it's called Reputation. Okay. I could get into a whole like actual dissertation about Reputation because it's an album that like, it sounds like it's an album on the surface that's like all about her like getting back at the people that were mean to her and like kind of rubbing things in their face, but like in reality that's like one of her best love albums.
Mm.
Like, she wrote it about the guy she was seeing at the time.
Yeah.
And there's a couple songs in there that are like, yeah, about the drama that was happening with Kanye at the time. Like, This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. Or Look What You Made Me Do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those are about the situation. But, like, in reality, most of the album is a love letter to her then boyfriend.
Oh. Okay.
But she's like, people want this, like, dark, like, rude side of me. So, like, here you have it. Dark, rude side of me, but, like, with the side of love.
That's dark and evil. With the side of love.
Yeah, you know, she did what they wanted them to. People wanted to hear her clap back. People wanted to, you know what she had to say to Kanye. Like, oh, he said all these awful things about you. What are you going to do about it? And so she's like, all right, look what you made me do. Here it is.
Gotcha.
And this is why we can't have nice things. But then, like, okay, now that that's over, back to our regular scheduled events, like, let me sing about my boyfriend. And it's like the songs about him are really good, even though, you know, it didn't end so well, apparently.
It's okay. Not
out.
all things do. Not all things do. It's okay. So
we'll find out when, you know, TS11, the Tortured Poets Department, comes out in just a few months.
TS11.
Yes.
That's what we calling it.
Yes. It's Taylor Swift's 11th album.
So what's our next topic of conversation?
Okay.
TS11. Wow, what's she gonna do on 13?
Everything's coded.
Whoa, wait. What's she gonna do on 13? It's got to be something absolutely out of this world.
It's got to be a banger.
Out of this world.
It has to be.
Because we all know about 13.
Taylor Swift's favorite number
with Taylor
is 13.
I remember seeing all these videos of people trying to somehow relate like the Super Bowl and stuff to 13.
It was on February 11th. 2 plus 11 is 13. It'll be her 13th game that she's come to.
Oh my gosh.
It's 13 hours from Tokyo to Las Vegas.
Yes. It was absurd, but honestly, pretty funny too. Like that's what I'm talking like.
When things align like that though, like that's like, you know, if you believe in signs, you things like that. If you believe in that stuff, like that stuff is so glaringly in your face.
Yeah.
You know, if you believe in manifestation, if you believe in signs, if you believe in prayer, like there is you look for a sign in something.
Yeah.
And like for Swifties, it's our side. A lot of times we're wrong. There are a lot of times when we look like doomsday preppers, where we're like, the Mayans have calculated that the end of the world is this day. And then it doesn't happen. We're like, actually, our calculations were off. It is this day now. Mm-hmm. Like us waiting for Reputation to be re-released. We're trying, man.
I'm trying to manifest it.
You know, we just don't want to put money in the pockets of the bad guy, you know?
Right.
We want to listen to her version.
Yeah. I still don't fully understand that whole re-release her version. What's the difference? Go ahead. Let's explain that real quick, shall we?
So, Taylor Swift was under a record label for her first several albums, and she then wanted to leave said record album. She was like going in a different direction. She had a lot of people that she really didn't get along with. One in particular, Scooter Braun. So her record label was putting her masters up for sale, which she has the rights to the music itself and the lyrics itself, but the first original recordings belong to somebody else.
Okay.
So the sales of that album belongs to somebody. And so they were putting it up for sale, and before she even had the chance to kind of bid for it and try to buy them herself so that she could own her own music, and that's something she's very passionate about, is giving artists the right to own their own music.
Yeah.
It was sold in a private deal to this man named Scooter Braun. And he has been on books saying horrible things to her. He was not very nice to her. He has always kind of like had it out for her, essentially. And so the fact that her music was sold by her record label, like the person that brought her up, found her, discovered her, and signed her, and got her in there, sold it to this person she has openly said bad things about because she does not like him. She does not trust him. Sold it to him. So she no longer had the rights to own it. They sold it for like a super giant amount of money, and she had no chance to get it back for herself. So Kelly Clarkson stepped in and was like, just do what Reba McEntire did, because the same thing happened to Reba. Her music was sold without her knowledge, and she had no rights to it. So Reba re-recorded all of her songs. Yep. She's like, just do what Reba did. And so Taylor went on this journey of re-recording all of her music under the name Taylor's Version. Like, just, you know, like you may not sound the same because it was when, you know, she was like 16, 17 years old when she's first writing or releasing this music. So she has like a little bit younger voice. Now it's a little bit more matured voice.
For sure. Yep.
But it's the same songs.
I'll be honest, I thought that that's more what it was about. It's more that she's kind of grown up now. She's got a different voice. So this is my version of me. Actually, me, not like a kid me.
No, because some people are really sad that they're kind of losing that baby Taylor voice, that raw teenage voice that she had at the time, that like at the time maybe wasn't as good as her voice now, because she's
refined,
she's grown her, she's really trained her voice a lot better now than she was then. But people miss that because, you know, if you listen to it, you're listening to like the enemy's version. They call it the stolen version because it was basically stolen from her. Okay. So she's re-recording so that she owns all of her music. And a lot of streaming sites have said that they will push, you know, like in the algorithm when they're suggesting songs to listen to or like putting songs on curated playlists, that they will put Taylor's version on those playlists for her to kind of like encourage her.
We're rooting for Tay-Tay.
So she's literally only re-recording to essentially own her own art.
But at the same time, refining it, or, you know, making little changes here and there to... Yeah. Nice. Okay. Now I know. Now we all know. Version. Well, I'm sure. I'm sure. Guys, listen.
I think
Drea could probably talk about all these fine details of Taylor and everything for, you know. Yeah. So. So in addition to this whole best album debate, you also mentioned you have some games or quizzes.
I have a little mini game for you.
A mini game for me? Okay.
I don't know. Obviously, my algorithm is more directed towards me, so I see it all the time. So I don't know if
I'm being tested, guys. I don't like this.
Seen this.
We're back. We're back, and I'm already being tested on how good I know. Oh, jeez.
There is a game that people have been playing.
Okay.
Shakespeare or Taylor Swift. So I'm going to read a lyric to you, and you're going to tell me whether you think it's Shakespeare's writing or Taylor Swift's writing.
Okay.
And you just listen to the whole discography, so like maybe you have a little bit of a jump.
Okay, sure, yeah.
But
we'll go with that.
You ready?
No.
All right. Did I close my fist around something delicate? Did I shatter you? Taylor Swift or Shakespeare?
This is not this is not one bit. Okay. All right. Good. Can I get it in a sentence? Can I know the origin of the word?
Did I close my fist around something delicate? Did I shatter you?
What's the origin of the sentence? Oh, it's not a spelling bee?
No.
Wow. Okay. Well, my only thought is that Shakespeare talked in weird ways, but I know I'm going to be wrong going by that view. So, Taylor.
It's Taylor.
Yes.
It was from Coney Island.
1 for 1.
And that's from your second favorite album, Evermore. Did you miss the rogue who coaxed you into paradise and left you there?
Did you miss the rogue that coaxed you into paradise and left you there? Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 for 2.
My tongue will tell the anger of my heart, or else my heart concealing will... sorry. I read that backwards.
Yeah, tongue twister, huh? We talked about tongue in there.
Exactly. My tongue will tell the anger of my heart, or else my heart concealing it will break.
Shakespeare.
Yeah. There we go. Past these curses and cries, beyond the terror in the nightfall.
Repeat, please.
Past the curses and cries, beyond the terror in the nightfall.
Shakespeare.
Taylor.
Damn.
It's in Happiness, which is such a heartbreaking song.
Heartbreaking.
In black ink, my love may still shine bright.
Taylor.
Shakespeare.
Damn it. I started off hot. I started off so good. Now here we go. All right.
Now
let's
my
go.
eyes leak acid rain on the pillow where you used to lay your head.
Gosh, all these could be either. This is crazy. Go ahead one more time.
Now my eyes leak acid rain on the pillow where you used to lay your head.
Taylor.
Taylor?
Yeah. Let's go. Whew. Song?
I will say a lot of these, that was also Happiness from Evermore. I will say a lot of these are Evermore because I will say, like, I think her, like, writing really, like,
Poetic.
took a very poetic stance then, which is, again, why I'm really excited for Tortured Poets Department.
Obviously, you know.
I was an English major for a half a second.
For half a second.
Like 2.5 years, whatever.
Yeah, you know. Details.
All right. I'd meet you where the spirit meets the bones in a faith-forgotten land.
Shakespeare.
Taylor Swift, and this is my favorite song, Ivy.
Goodness gracious.
It is my favorite song, Ivy.
Favorite song?
Mm-hmm.
Ivy?
It's my all-time favorite song, Ivy.
That was on Evermore, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
6. Above average. We'll take it.
Your touch brought forth an incandescent glow, tarnished but so grand.
That's Taylor.
This is also Ivy.
I recognize that lyric for some reason. I don't know why I recognize the incandescent glow.
So good.
Yeah, I recognize that. I don't know. Yep.
Love is merely a madness.
Shakespeare.
Yep.
Okay. I said that confidently, and then after I was like, it could be, definitely not.
The old widow goes to the stone every day, but I don't. I just sit there and wait, grieving for the living.
Shakespeare.
Taylor.
Wow.
Also Ivy.
Wow.
I really had to break that up because my voice just wanted to naturally sing
Sing
that.
it?
I listen to it like daily.
That's true. If you start singing it, you're gonna give it away.
I know. I'm trying so hard to
Oh my gosh.
All right. How can it be said I am alone when all the world is here to look on me?
I'm gonna say that again without stuttering.
Yep, I said that really good. How can it be said I am alone when all the world is here to look on me?
Taylor.
Shakespeare.
Oh my gosh.
Midnight Summer Dream. I feel bad. I have not said what like sonnets or stories that this came from. Sorry, Shakespeare. My bad. Justice for Shakespeare.
Justice for #Justice for Shakespeare.
Yep.
I have no idea what my score is, but it's not great anymore.
I haven't been keeping track.
Yeah.
We'll just say it's bad.
Bad, yeah. Oh, thanks.
I think you're probably at 50-50 now.
Pretty close, probably.
Because of how strong your start was.
Yeah. And then just...
And yet, to say the truth, reason and love keep a little company together nowadays. Shakespeare.
Yes. Whew. We're good.
Right?
Yeah.
I wish to know the fatal flaw that makes you long to be so magnificently cursed.
Taylor?
Yep,
Okay.
Taylor. Also from Ivy.
Oh, okay.
Now you hang from my lips like the gardens of Babylon.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Next. I'm just kidding.
Blah, 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 blah. Shakespeare.
Taylor. Cowboy Like Me.
Gosh, man. She's talking about Babylon. What does she know about Babylon? She wasn't in Babylon.
Okay, anyways.
Neither was Shakespeare. What kind of argument is that?
What does she know about Babylon?
What does she know?
My pride fell with my fortunes. Shakespeare.
Okay. There's no way that was Taylor.
Staring out an open window, catching my death.
Sorry, what?
Staring out an open window, catching my death.
Uh-huh. Shakespeare.
Taylor.
Okay. That's what I said.
That was from Evermore.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The song Evermore on Evermore.
Yeah.
Hold on. Rewind.
Yeah.
Can't not think of all the cost, the things that will be, and the things that will be lost. Can't not think of all the cost and the things that will be lost.
Can't not?
Can't not.
That's got to be Shakespeare.
Taylor.
Taylor needs to go back to English lessons.
It's a double negative.
I know.
It's a tool use. Shakespeare probably does it way more.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said Shakespeare.
So she has to go to English class to learn about Shakespeare?
No, to speak better. Even though there's nothing
wrong.
I know.
Speak
I know,
low
but I
if
don't
you
know.
speak love.
Taylor.
Shakespeare.
That's what I said.
You're really kind of falling down.
Yes.
In the cracks of light, I dreamed of you.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
In the cracks of light, I dreamed of you.
These are just guesses at this point. As if they weren't from the start. Shakespeare.
Taylor.
Oh my god.
Yep. That was the last one.
Oh, so bad. I think that's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane how interchangeable they are.
Mm-hmm. Poetry, man.
Modern day Shakespeare.
I mean, you said it.
I said it.
You heard it here, folks.
Y'all did. Yeah.
That is all. I shall go.
Okay, bye. That's a wrap, guys. We'll see you next time. That's crazy. I can't believe how. Wow. See, connections, guys. Connections. Taylor and Shakespeare, maybe they're related. Maybe. We never know. We definitely know that they're not, but yeah.
I think there is a way to know that.
I think there's a way to know, and I don't think they are. That's crazy. Wow. That was awesome. Yeah. I failed, though, but it was fun.
I mean, you did fine. I don't know how you said Evermore's your second favorite album with...
I didn't listen to the words, apparently.
Apparently.
I just listened to the songs and the sound. I did. I just... You threw me off, okay? It was tough. All right, let's just about wrap it up. But, of course, we've got lots of good stuff before we do that. We've got Bright Stories. They're back. Bright Stories, our second part of the show, if you will, our awesome stories about how people have been affected and brightened by others, or have also done things that have brightened others' lives. Good stories, wholesome stories, good acts, kind acts, things that have made a difference, big or small, simple or extravagant, whatever it may be. Anything and everything counts, guys. Drea, you have some of yourself. You also have had some people that have told you, I believe you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So share away.
On the topic of Taylor Swift.
On the topic of Taylor Swift.
I had my Swiftie friends submit some stories about kind of like what Taylor Swift has done for her and like done for them, and like, you know, the brightness she's brought to their lives, the joys she's brought. So they submitted, and they submitted hard. I was sent a good college essay about their love for Taylor Swift. So
nice.
Do you want me to just read them? Do
as you wish.
Okay. So this one's from my good friend Petit Pika. It is very, very long. So
okay.
There we go. There we go. Wait, I don't know if you can see this. Wait. It's delayed here.
Yeah, that's a story. Oh. All right. Nice.
So, strap in.
Yep.
All right. So Pika says, I've been a fan since her debut album. I was only a country fan by default, thanks to my late father. I remember being 13 and her song Tim McGraw was playing on the radio station. I was shocked to hear such a young female on the radio. I listened to the song, and by now it may not be her best work, but I was always hopeless romantic, so I was instantly hooked. From there, I bought every single album, learned every lyric, saw all her secret messages that she'd leave her fans, learn her songs on the piano, or as Jessica Day would in New Girl, spend days of heartbreak singing Taylor songs in cathartic healing. When her song 15 came out, I remember being a freshman in high school. I had a friend who gave too much to a senior boy that year and how much it hurt. It hurt her. It hurt to be. Hold on.
Yep.
I'm really apparently bad at reading comprehension. It hurt her to be so naive and hurt me to see her in pain. Belting that song over and over in our school hallway, at lunch tables, and math classes only helped heal both of us. As I got older, her Red album came out. While I was in college, that album helped shape me while I was attempting to become an adult. Working through heartbreaks, through social judgments, self-judgments even, it was like listening to poetry, relatable poetry. As the years went by, I would get more excited with each album that would drop. 1989 was a great album for me. Reputation was my favorite. Someone who I looked up to for years on end had felt like I needed to someone who I looked up to for years on end felt the need to disappear after being harassed and scrutinized by other celebrities in the media. To disappear from bullies, regroup, and come back swinging even harder than before. I was supposed to go to a concert of hers as a kid. Unfortunately, I didn't end up going as the person taking me canceled. In 2018, I was finally able to see her concert during her Reputation Stadium tour. The show itself was amazing, stunning stage, great visuals, very interactive. Then there was Taylor. She was great on stage, of course, but throughout the years, and even added the stardom, she always talked to her fans in such a personal manner, like we were her friends. Like there's an understanding that we relate to her music so hard. She faces all these criticism all these years about writing breakup songs. Meanwhile, there's songs about losing friends, becoming an adult, mental health, and more. Swifties have seen her time and time again continuously evolve, change into different eras, because as a female pop star with so much scrutiny, she knew she had to be a chameleon to appease the media. Meanwhile, Swifties see through the constant change, the struggle, the heartbreaks, the judgment, whatever it is. Taylor is still so authentic in herself and her writing. It's what makes her iconic. Her relatability and songwriting talents is what makes her magic. The Eras Tour is something that no one has seen before, something so surreal in this day and age for women, because in that moment you get there, you're in Barbie land. For young women, new Swifties, and even people who have been a fan of hers for 16 years, that's priceless. Her music has brought me great joy and has helped me through heartbreak, falling in love, out of love, standing up for myself, to dream bigger, to take care of my mental health, to forgive, and to move on, and so much more. I'm just happy to live in a time where there's someone as healing as Taylor.
Awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that she brought up Barbie Land, because that was also a big thing last year as well. Like in the era of Taylor Swift, it was also like Barbie year, like the year of Barbie. And so like women really had like a really power year.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. And I have a second submission from my friend Jen, who has also been a lifetime Swiftie. And it's not nearly as long, but it's still very long.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Pika, you know, we saw the impact a single person has on somebody's life, and there's you always want to, as a person, you always want to have somebody be a good role model for you, or somebody there, whether it be a close person like a relative, a father, mother, brother, whatever, sister, but to have somebody that's out there, you know, in the media, or somebody that's popular like that, have such an impact on you, it's a way of connecting with somebody that you know you can look up to, and you, like she was saying, you could see the wholesomeness and the how she related to her fans as if they were friends. Not many people, you know, you won't get that with a lot of famous people. A lot of famous people.
I mean, she wrote the song. Oh my god. Everything's leaving my brain now that I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
She wrote the song.
Yep, that song.
And now I gotta look it up because my brain is fully stopped.
Okay.
But it was like a gift to her fans, because she didn't know how long she would be able to do this. She didn't know, like, am I able to like continue? Is this the end of me? Because she was getting so much scrutiny. The song Long Live.
Okay.
She literally says in the song, like, if I'm not here anymore, if I'm not doing this anymore, if you stop like listening to me, like at least point to the pictures and like tell them who I was. Like, remember this moment, like we're here together, like I'm having the best time. And she says fighting dragons with you. Like she wrote and sang that song for her fans. Like that's really like her gift to them, and they continue it like throughout these years. And so another thing that I've heard a lot of like comparison to is, you know, people are like, why does everybody care so much about who Taylor Swift's dating and blah blah blah. For a lot of these girls, they grew up with Taylor Swift. like a big sister, you know?
Yeah.
Pika's a few years younger than her. Taylor Swift is 34. You know, a lot of these girls are like late 20s, early 30s. They've grown up with this big sister figure.
Yeah.
This person that was there for them in their heartbreaks, that supported them through their heartbreaks. Maybe there's a cat sighting by. Maybe not like, you know, physically there, but like in her music, she was there to support her.
Absolutely.
And so now watching their, you know, figurative big sister be so happy and in love and being like supported unabashedly, like that's why they care.
Yeah.
They feel like somebody that has cared for them for their whole life is now finally being cared for.
Yeah.
In the same manner. So like it's exciting for them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was a later bloomed Swiftie, so like I can't say that, like claim that as my full heart, but like I feel similarly where it's like watching somebody that I've listened to her heartbreak throughout the years. You know, I've listened to these songs that are really earth-shattering that have helped me through, you know, a divorce, like a few really bad breakups in my life, you know, like seeing the full circle of like, you know, her falling back in love and being like there for her. Like it is like a big sister. And so like Pika, I would say, is one of those people that would probably identify as like, you know, someone who was really supported and helped through in life, and now she's just like, hey, big sister's having a good time.
It's full circle, you know, that Taylor was there for so many people, and now that people can be there for her and be happy for her, it's just it's wholesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, what's our second story? Let's go. I'm excited now.
This is from Jen.
Okay.
She's also a lifetime Swiftie. So she starts with a quote. Why do you even like her? It's all the same. It's just about breakups. It just sounds the same. Like, you're right. Shake It Off and Tolerate It sound completely identical, you know? Shake It Off, a song about literally shaking and dancing and forgetting about the haters, and then Tolerate It, a heart-wrenching song about somebody trying so hard to get somebody to notice you and they just tolerate your existence. Yeah, they sound the same. One of my favorite remarks ever to be made about Taylor Swift and Swifties alike. But why do we care so much about her music? More so than anything else. Let me tell you why this woman single-handedly owns my Spotify streams. From a 10-year-old girl in love with Teardrops on My Guitar to Tim McGraw. Both of them have referenced Tim McGraw. To a 27-year-old woman that plays Daylight and You're on Your Own Kid on a regular basis, Taylor has managed to find a way to write and sing about every situation and feeling, whether it's having the best day with my mom and dad, singing my way through an abusive, toxic relationship with All Too Well and Tolerate It, or struggling with my dad's cancer with Soon You'll Get Better. I can find a song or an album for every mood and sing my way through it. She hits the points I didn't even know I needed hit. She finds feelings I didn't know I had. She finds words that I've desperately tried to say but couldn't. She sings about breakups, yes, but she doesn't sing them in a way that's about them. She sings them in a way that says how her mind was going through all the emotions that she felt. She manages to write a song that she feels like it was written for you, but somehow relates to 8 million other people at the same time, who all feel the exact same way. She makes sure everyone feels something when they everyone feels like someone finally understands what you're saying. Words that we didn't know we would ever be able to say, whether it's sadness, hurting, happiness, peace, understanding, friendships, or falling head over heels in love. She knows how to say it, and she wrote a song about it. So why does Taylor Swift mean so much to me? Because she's there for me, through the good and the bad and the hilarious, the horrible, and everything else in between. It's whether you're 7 or 70, Love Story can come on the radio and suddenly everyone is singing and everyone is friends. I've never made as many connections as friends as I have within the Swiftie community. It's a beautiful side to life over here in the Swiftie community. I recommend everybody join.
Over here in the Swiftie community.
Yep. And I will say, I will attest to that, because the reason I know Jen is because we are Swifties. Mm-hmm. Our friend Tanya has a friend named Austin, and he and I would chat here and there about Taylor Swift, because he's like, my girlfriend really loves Taylor Swift. And so I'd text him stuff like through Twitter or whatever it was. I'd send him stuff to send to her about Taylor Swift, and then he'd send stuff that she said to me about Taylor Swift. And then finally he's like, you guys just
do it together yourself. I'm done being the middleman.
So, we became very good friends through Taylor Swift, and, you know, she was there for me through online dating apps, through a past relationship. Like, Jen was like really kind of like my friend that helped me through it, and she would, you know, relate my situations to songs and be like, oh, like this one is your Begin Again, this is your Tolerate It guy. Like she really kind of helped me understand what I was going through, just because like she's a Swiftie, so she's like, listen to this song and you'll feel better. And she's right in a lot of ways. So we did really make a good connection because of Taylor Swift.
Yep. Moral of the story, guys: Taylor Swift bringing people together.
Taylor Swift
making connections. I didn't say,
bright connections.
I didn't say it like that. Don't say Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. I mean, hate her if you will. Love her as much as you want. She's big. She's important. She's in the spotlight, you know? Somebody's going to be there. Why not her? Like you said in some of your stories, you know, that she's put up with a lot of stuff, and maybe she deserves it. I think a lot of people in this world would feel that way, that they've put up with a lot of stuff, a lot of shit, and
they deserve good.
And they deserve to have some good.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like people to bash you if you're finally getting that good after dealing with stuff for so long?
And that's the thing, is like the right people in your life will just like support you like none other. And it's, you know, you want that when you're on your highest high, you want people to be behind you like Swifties, because they got your back. Like, you can do no wrong in their eyes. Like, yeah, she may have had some slip ups. She may have done some things that were like kind of like dating Maddie Healy.
or that one line from that song that you said, and it wasn't really.
Hey kids, spelling is fun.
Hey kids,
honestly, I kind of say it unironically now occasionally, because like it was a moment, you know?
Yeah.
It was a moment.
Hey.
I remember the first time I heard it on the radio, I went,
what was that?
But then like 2 weeks later, I'm screaming it at the top of my lungs in the car. So like, I can't even say anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, you know, it's one of those things. If you got a Swiftie behind you, you got to ride or die.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That's it. That's all you need. Swiftie, ride or die.
Yep.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up, Drea. That is all the stories you have, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, that was. Don't make it.
I mean, I could get more.
You could. I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could.
Just cut out the bad signal for Swifties.
Wonderful stories. I'm happy to hear about how much a singular person has affected people's lives and made it better. You know, affected it for the better. And that's what it's all about. You know, finding. It's sometimes as much as I talk about, you know, making the change or doing things to brighten people's lives or whatever. A lot of times it's also recognizing it too. A lot of times it's we as people need to recognize when we are having something done to us or for us that is bright, that is kind, that is caring, wholesome, and then just say, whoa, that was really nice of that person to do, and they didn't need to do that, and you know, it made my day better. And it's a lot of times it's about recognizing it too. So that's pretty cool to hear those stories, how much they were affected by her. So thank you for sharing, Jen and Pika. Awesome stuff. Drea, thank you for getting those stories from them. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for letting me talk about Taylor Swift and a capacity where people don't tell me to shut up.
No, of course. Yeah, so that'll wrap it up for season 2, episode 1, guys. We're back. So excited to be back, Drea. Drea was a huge part of getting me to come back and do it. Let's just say it how it is. There's a handful of people that were pushing me to just go for it. It's a cat on the side, huh? A lot of people that are pushing for me to get back, but Drea was one of them for sure. She said, I know you enjoy doing it. I know you love doing it. Just go for it. Just do it. And here we are. So.
And what better way to do it than talk about Taylor Swift?
I was going to say something along the lines of, like what better person than somebody who was pushing for it. But, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
That.
So, Drea, thank you very much for joining me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. Is there anywhere that if people want to find you on social or anything like that, if you want to share anything, last remarks or anything like that?
I'm Dang Drea pretty much everywhere.
Dang Drea pretty much everywhere. All right, perfect.
You find me on EA.
What?
Who adds people on EA?
I don't even know what that is. Okay, we've gone off the rails. Goodbye, guys. If you're not following Bright Connections on social media, we're on Instagram, Twitter, and obviously YouTube. You'll see the video version. Instagram is Bright Connections. I actually don't even remember now. Twitter's Bright Connect, and YouTube, you just search for Bright Connections. Search for Bright Connections on any.
X.com now. It's
sorry,
Twitter.
It's not Twitter. It's X. Yeah, sorry, my bad. But if you guys want to follow us on those for updates, more content, and more fun, please do so. Otherwise, we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks again for hanging out with us, and go listen to some Taylor Swift. Bye. Take care.